Welcome. Welcome back to another live session, traders. Hope that you had an enjoyable day. Friday, last day of trading week, looking at backup day and looking at potential trading opportunity in this session. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining here and absolutely appreciate your support to the channel. Let's begin today's session. This is the first session. There will be another one coming up later, and buy TP. So you are long on gold now. Gold on a deeper pullback. So we might be able to find an entry that I'm waiting here on gold, ready for an entry here. We might be able to see a possible entry. The market is coming to daily support level. It's on a support level. The price is coming to a level we might be able to see a possible bullish entry in that area. So previous daily candle closed with a rejection from this higher price. Now today's price, once the market opened straight away, the price has bounced back to the upside, and I'm ready for another entry. So looking at this level as the market is approaching that key level. So looking at the intraday perspective, looking at the 4-hour and the daily chart, the price is approaching that 4172 or 71, which is the daily key support level. And once the market managed to break that low or retest that daily low here, that is the level that I'm looking at for possible selling in this market. Now, if you guys look at it, you can see the market is approaching this daily key support level, and I'm preparing for a possible entry opportunity here in that area. Good morning, everyone. The market is approaching this support here on the daily, and we will be doing a full multiple time frame analysis to see that what the market potentially be doing here in that area. Selling as you are, so you are bearish? No, gold is bullish, so I'm not bearish, but we might be able to find bullish entry along this area. So the market is approaching the daily, very important daily support here. If you look at that level, okay, approaching that daily liquidity zone, and that's where the market may potentially bounce off that daily liquidity zone. So approaching that support is important to see that how the market potentially be breaking that low here, and that's the support level. The market is coming back here in that area. So if you look at here, this is the lower time frame market structure here in that area, and the daily support is important to see that how the market structure is building. Now, once the market touch that 4171 or break little lower, there is a possibility the market to go back up to 4211. So the possibility here to 330 pip move back above here once the price managed to break that low here. So we will be on a trade shortly in that area. First of all, let's see how the market is structured. It's trying to break that from this level. You don't want to see that the price to in fact bounce off that too early. And especially breaking that low to this daily low is essential to see the 4-hour candle close coming if you look at in just a matter of 30 minutes time. So 30 minutes candle also closed as a long bear candle. And once the price break that low here, what we are looking at here for a possible bullish entry setup, and we might be using the market order for possible bounce. And I'm just preparing the primary plan for possible entry, and we need a little wider stop loss here if we enter in that area. Look at the 1 minute chart. The market structure is building that momentum here, and so nearly to 2 times potential profit target here in that area to bounce off that level. Still not entering, just preparing the plan. So if the market reject off this level, especially to this daily low at 4171, touching the daily low, we can go for bullish entry setup with this 1 hour price action that you can see. This is the 1 hour market structure. It's almost breaking that key support level, and that's what I would like to initiate a buy trade from that level, guys. Keeping stop loss at 4161 level and TP target setting at 4211. So stop loss at 4161 will be later discussing in depth of this trade. Take profit target at 4211.06 with a tight risk, and the market order. So the market trying to break that low, so I'm on a buy here on gold. With this setup, we'll be explaining later in depth on this market structure. So my entry at 4177.51, stop loss at 4161.42, TP target at 4211.06 will be later adjusting if needed. It's a fully risk managed trade. Okay, so I'm on bullish trade on gold. So buy on gold running in this trade. Possibility to return back again to the major resistance line So gold, we open that buy here, so we might be able to see some possible potential move here as daily price action. The market may retest the daily low or may not. We are on a level where that expecting to bounce off that level for our candle close coming in few minutes. So expecting that the bulls to, if you look at the 1 hour price action here, you can see the market from this high here drop to that level and potentially to revert again to the major direction of the trend. So it's just tested the support and we might see a possible upside bias here for creating a new higher high. So on this trade and waiting on the move. It might come back to this daily low, and that's why we had a little wider space here for in case the market coming back to this daily low here. We are still on this trade here. Guys, welcome back to this live session. Now we might have entered little earlier, but that's okay because this support that on the daily is very important, and the market might even not testing the support and bouncing off that level. As if you look at the daily price action, you can see the market on this daily is pretty strongly bullish. So more often you see the price may not break that low, as from this support, if you look at, got that rejection back up. So you got in the trade, and that's where we want to catch that move here. As you can see, the market is maintaining that uptrend, and you could see that the price potentially continue to rise back here to create a new higher high. And in the meantime, traders, if you are enjoying the live session, so make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every single day. It's awesome. And we see that upside. How many of you are running this trade? Can you confirm in the live chat that you are running, so I know that how many members are on this? You live 6 again? Yep. So what do you mean by your live 6 again? Yeah, there is another one. So in your time zone, I'm not sure, but it's in my time zone. So basically, if you buy hours, so if you consider it's 4 hours 20 minutes exactly from this time, now there will be another live. So this one will be going up to max, and then we'll take a break and we're coming on live again. So here is, if you look at the 1 hour market structure, I mean the trade will come. Make sure you do the risk management, and we want to take that move back up here. want to catch that move back above to this key level. Okay, so now why we entered the trade. Let's understand now the logic and the reason as well as the education behind the trade. Now, either it's gonna be going to the stop loss or going to the profit target, but we have to have an edge in the market, right? So we had two edges. If you look at, first of all, risk reward, it's a 2-to-1 reward to risk. Even if we take partial profit, that's completely fine. Secondly, if we look at that, especially we use the trend to give us a bigger edge in the market. Now, how to use the trend? So trend is very important, guys. Keep in mind that every strategy that I use, 70% of my weight to the confluence is the trend. So trend is very important. If you look at the trend, is where you will be able to see that the market is giving you the bigger edge for each trade that you will be opening. We see some downside back here. You will be still running in some profit here. So here is the lower time frame market structure, trying to break that low, and looking at it might try to break further below, or it might try to bounce off the daily high. So our a bias here that the market to at some point to reject back again to the daily high, because the long-term trend is bullish. So we are looking at the trend, right? So look at the daily market structure. See, after the previous daily pretty long wick, smaller body, another long wick here, and in that area the market, if you look at it, created the series of higher low, and which is showing up that the market to potentially remain upside here, especially the 4-hour candle that you can see that has formed in that bullish market. We saw rejection back here. So the next candle, as if you look at, it's nearly to close this 4-hour candle, and this candle might close somewhere here. Okay, so therefore the next one opening could potentially less likely to break and to create a new higher, lower low, instead going back up to hit this high, or even penetrating back above to form double top, or going back up. So that's the path where the logic for this movement in that market. In case the market is breaking further low here, then we might see again from the previous daily low, or before breaking the previous daily low, you would see that another bounce back up here in that market. So any one of this level to be to potentially be respected in this session here. And that's what we're looking at, the lower time frame. So as the 4-hour candle close coming, we are looking at this market structure to reflect back again to the direction of the trend. So we'll be waiting to see how the 4-hour candle closing. It's a sharply bull market. So as long as this candle, this red candle on the 4-hour is not breaking that below here, with the candle close, expecting that the next one to bounce off that level. Even maintaining if you look at, there's a break of structure, bounce, pullback, another bounce back to the upside. So the next candlestick pattern that looking at here to potentially reverse again back to the major direction of the trend. Now some might think of selling from that level. We could sell, but it's gonna be against the trend. So our trade is always in the direction of the major trend, so that we are always remaining towards the major flow. That's the key here. Okay, remaining towards the major flow, and then trade based on risk management, based on the strategy. So here is, you can see the price has penetrated that. This is another support here, and that move with this one here, we might see now a retest of that level, and so looking to see that possible rejection with the 4-hour candle close, 10 minutes time coming, 2 more lower time frame candlestick pattern here in that area, and it is possible the market to break that 4170, but a high probability to reject from the daily support level, as there is a, if you look at, there's a gap open here in that area. We'll be using probably the next pending order if the market successfully bounce off that level for possible break above here in that area. So you're running at that level, and so from the order block, there is possible rejection on the lower time frame, and potential reorganization of this support level here in that area, and it just breaking that daily support and expecting a reaction from the daily low here from the buyers, as this is a key level of daily area of value, and you can see the market just tested that low. All right, so waiting on that to see the market how it is reacting to that level. There's a 4-hour candle close coming in few minutes, so it just tested the daily support. If you look at that, that's the lower shadow of this daily low here, and might try to penetrate back below in that area. So it just tested the daily low. If you look at, this is where the level that the market to. Now if the price reject from that level, so we are approaching that 4211 to bounce off that level. There might be some how the market structure is creating that momentum is important to see. Now we see some kind of slower price action formation here, and looking at our close coming, that this is the 4-hour candlestick pattern, wanting to see the market breaking above before this 4-hour close, and you see some rejection coming up, and once the market managed to break that high here, we see the price moved long enough here to this at least to 4196 level, we can move the stop loss at entry to make the trade risk free for a possible further bounce back above here in that market. Some kind of lower time frame bullish rejection coming up potentially, and if it reject back again, we might see a straight bounce back to 4211, and that's what I'm aiming at the moment. Welcome with the TP at 4211.0. We're on the halfway downside, but we will be looking to see that bouncing back up, getting some kind of rejection from this lower time frame, and now if you look at the price section, if you guys look at here, you can see this is a bullish, potentially a bullish rejection back above here in that market, and that's where the price to potentially to return. And in this area here, are you going to see an inverted head and shoulder here to bounce back up? It has penetrated a very important key support level, and that reversal pattern, if it forms that one here, that you could see the market to reject from this lower time frame support. Now we are closing to 4-hour candle close. If you look at the 4-hour, it's a red bear candle, right? From this high to this low to this daily support, one straight sessions low back to this 4-hour support, and closing on this candle in 1 minute, right? So that could lead to have potential return back above to the major trend. And again, we are on the probabilistic side. It is still can look for deeper liquidity gap. In that case, we might see the previous daily low support test. If that's happening, then we will be waiting for the market to break this low and then potential rejection in that market. But we are almost nearing to the 4-hour candle close here, and there is an inverted head and shoulder formation here. Are you optimistic the market to go up? So what's your view? I'm posting a poll. Let's see that what most of them you guys are thinking. What is your view on this? What is your view on gold today? It's getting some reaction back above. So most of the time we saw that what majority of them are voting, the market does that. So cast a vote, guys. Here I posted a poll and let us know what's your thought on that 4-hour candle close. And if you look at, this is a big red candle close here, testing that daily low. If this market reject from this level, expecting a straight bounce back to the again daily high. If it reject back down, boom, that might be bringing the price to daily low. But not being able to break that support could give a big advantage for a new higher high in this direction here. Do you think so? Do you agree? Let me know in the live chat. What's your thought on that? Because it's on the daily support test, and you can see getting some potential price action formation. We are approaching our entry again in that area, nearly to entering our entry level. So try to break further low. We'll see that how far it might try to penetrate back. Okay. That might be forming a double bottom, or okay, so there is a double bottom formation here, and reacting back above. Okay, so that's where the 5 minutes doji, getting some rejection from that support level here. If you look at the 4 hour, that you can see the market has reacted to that level. So primarily we see some rejection. Now that inverted head and shoulder, the double bottom here with an inverted head and shoulder could drive that price back above or driving price back below, depending on now what kind of market structure it is forming. The 5 minutes price action that you can see, big long wick doji here. Now there's a possibility for a reversal formation. This is what I'm looking at. If that's a valid structure formation here in that area, then looking at the daily high, Welcome. 4211. Yes. Okay, so we are seeing some kind of improvement has occurred in the price action, and that looks like that potentially to have some reaction so far until we see that the market has crossed our entry. We are looking at are you with me? Looks like that we might see some rejection from that level. We are at entry, so I am at entry. Where is your move? Can you show me? You see that mine is running at near at entry with 10, 20, $15 plus and minus. That's fine. And this is where it's a very in a crucial level. We want to see that getting a rejection from that zone here, and that's where it will create a possible reversal pattern back to this daily high at 4211 level. Could be or could require more liquidity for another bounce here. So here is if you look at this move, and here is a rejection of this market potentially to come up that we are looking at. A bull needs to be able to break that after double top. Now, if this resistance is being broken above, that's a sign of upside bias here. And so the market is putting pressure on this support level. It's forming a structure. All right, so that's what I'm at. Looking forward to see that breaking above from that structure, being able to penetrate back above the 4-hour support here. This is the 4-hour candle close, and so the lower time frame price action is So here is in the support, and might create some complex bullish or bearish structure, and we need to see the price to this is the last point that you can look for possible not to break that support. If break the support, we might see that another step back below here for rejection potentially, and so 1 minute potentially full body candle close here, and as the last day of trading week, there might be significant change in the market sentiment that you might see. Now, the price on the daily and the intraday support, and this is what looking at possible retest of the daily high, and that's the basis of our entry, is to as the market on the daily key support level, the price even want to break below further, we want to see a rejection back above to the daily high, either to continue to rise back up further or breaking that low in that direction. So far the market structure here in this area, that's showing up to be potentially this is a very narrow structure formation here, and multiple liquidity grab. There's a possible price is rejecting to this very important support, and series of higher low All right, so how the boost is coming in the market is important because at the moment the market on daily support again getting another potential bounce of this level. And looking at the bigger pictures, if you look at the bigger picture here, that's where the bigger picture, so this is support. The market tested that level multiple times and looking forward to see another new higher high here to that level. Now as long as the lower time frame, the bulls are being able to push the price back above here in that area, so you can see some kind of lower time frame price action being created, and where all right, so here is that's very narrow sideway but with a slower consolidation. And looking at this market structure, we might see that potential I think there might be a break of this support here in that area. So depending on how the market structure is creating will determine. So there is a narrow doji that you can see now. That's where we are approaching hourly 30 minutes closed, and depending on how the market structure is creating will determine 5 minutes candle close with a big doji here. So we look at quite a few long dojis. This strong breakdown, and might go a little deep here, so you can see there is a stronger breakdown of this intraday level. And so let's see that how far the market is trying to break that low. And so 4-hour candlestick pattern has broken that low. If we look at the daily, that's the daily support, and if we are out, then we will be re-entering. If the market reverses from that, we are almost nearing to the edge of this move, and we are out, we will be re-entering from that key support level. So we are out with this trade. We'll be re-entering based on the market structure. Okay, so you see that there is a break of support now that might bring the price well below here. If you look at, this is a complete break of this support, and when the market, so if you look at this move, that might be a completely a fake drop, and at any point you could see the price to bounce off that level. So that move, what do you want to see the price to? If you look at the daily here, you can see that is where the daily drop, and at any point we can expect the market to continue to rise back, as potentially that could be a fake drop. So therefore giving any possibility for reversal, we will be looking at entry to the major direction as soon as it appears the price action. There is so far daily week fill. Now, okay, so here sellers are aggressive. This is a very if you look at from there, it's a one single drop, and at any point if you look at, it's coming to a level where you might see that further potential entry opportunity, as weekly perspective it's a bull market. Daily market, if you look at also, it's a bull market. So it's coming to a zone where potentially to create a double bottom, or this is a high confluence zone. So that 1 hour price action, if you look at from here, there is no significant pullback in this drop here. So that is a move that we can look for again, potentially bounce off that level. And this is where you can see the market on the 1 minute. First, we want to see that it prepared for a reversal. We can look for the bigger potential move back above. So not gonna be a seller here at the same time. It's coming to a very important level that so I'm not going to be a seller here, as looking at the daily low. So the market may have that rejection back in that area. So looking at, again, with a proper risk management, we will be looking to see how the market potentially create that structure from here. As so daily price action, if you look at, this is the current daily high, and it's not going to be easy for the seller to break much lower here. Just looking at potential risk setup here, risk reward for so we'll be creating another setup here in that area with again tight stop loss. The stop loss gonna be at 41504.33. Take profit target, will keep a bigger profit target again, 4209.65, and again a very tight risk, and looked that buy entry. So smaller risk, bigger reward is the key. So I have opened buy again at 4164.11, stop loss at 4150.33, TP target at 4209.65. Now, this market with this setup, once it managed to reverse, we can expect this move potentially to 460 people, and we want to hold it to take the big one, and that's gonna potentially move back again to the major direction of the trend if once the price managed to go up successfully, as with the potentially with the reversal. So the next setup buy is on. All right, so buy is on for the trend. Trend is the longer term trend from the daily is, I'm considering, is still a bull market. There is a potential for once the market So looking at the intraday perspective that you can see, this is a long-term bull market. So we are always in the major direction of the trend. So when you look for the bigger setup, the only way to take the bigger move is from the key level from the daily or from the intraday perspective. So the daily level that you can see here, from this high to this support level, and from the intraday we are at this level, that where the market is from the 5 minutes. This market overextended back below here, and as the market on the daily low, to get the current move to bounce off that. We're looking at that level here. So Now, if it is forming that inverted head and shoulder, you can slowly building that a possible inverted head and shoulder that I'm looking at to potentially reach that peak of the daily high. The market structure is very interesting now. I can see that in that area. We may see that slowly building that momentum back above, and that might bring that price to the daily high. We'll be holding on to that for very big profit target here. So we are now 46p, but the goal here is to take as much as you can this move if it started that new move back above, because this market already overextended in the support direction. Now, the reversal pattern here that you can see is very possible to reverse. We could see that continuation back. The market structure looks to me very much of trying to continue to rise back up. Do you think so? It's a okay, so you see that bullish 73%. Do you think it's gonna reverse? We are ending the pull, the previous one. It's approaching this daily level, right? Which is the daily resistance. And Look at this 15 minutes market structure. That support that you can see on the 15 minutes here is with a stronger bullish impulse. Market drop very below to this order block. So this candle that you can see here, the previous session, this is an order block here. You can see this is a red candle in that area, and that order block has tested, and there is a sharp rejection here back, potentially to return back to 420. So we're getting some upside bias here. Are you with me? So that's what looking at the market to potentially to reverse back to the major direction. Anyone in this trade? Holding the bigger profit, that's the key. Not taking a big risk, take a small risk. If the trade doesn't go in your favor, then just hold on to that. Okay, Naresh, welcome. Anyone else? I'm holding on to that. I'm not gonna close earlier. You wanna take the previous one plus way more additional profit from that. And that is the secret of becoming successful trader. You don't need a very complex strategy. You need a simple strategy that we are using, and then holding the position. Welcome. And then hold on to that for keep repeating the same strategy, keep repeating the same trade over and over again to give you comparatively bigger profit target. And this market that you can see from the daily low, it just crossed the daily level, right? And the bigger trend here is bullish. So looking at with this 15 minutes close, as this is had a rejection from this lower price to potentially maintain that bullish bias back to the upside. Take big profit, let the trade running, don't close it on the way, and let it move here as much as we are expecting to go back up. If you can hold on to that, this is gonna be 3.5 times than our risk. Now this drop that we were waiting for the market to bounce, if that's gonna be successfully bouncing off, that you could see this is a fake drop, and that has given huge liquidity trigger in that area. So that has given potentially momentum for moving back up here in this market. Okay, so here is the price just tested this 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart, and okay, getting rejection here on the lower time frame, showing that possibility for further trend continuation back above here. So we are up with this one for 106 pip, and I'm holding on to that because, as I mentioned earlier, if you look at the daily, it's above the daily high here. And once the market successfully changed the sentiment, changed the momentum, we could see that straight going back up to the daily high here for a retest. Welcome, welcome. So are you holding on to the trade? That's showing up potentially upside here. So that is how it is. You can see that it's maintaining that uptrend. So we are looking at further upside, and we can see there is a breakout back above here. And just maintaining this uptrending market structure, and see that there is a significant bounce back to the upside. As we discussed in the beginning of the session, this market getting rejection from this support level here from the 4-hour, we might see that the market to continue to rise here back above to create a new higher high. And as we see that continuation, and we will see that potential continuation back above, and I'm holding on to the rig. I see that my trade is running. It's now nearly to 550 pip. $550 running $60 profit, and I'm holding on to that for the full profit target. Okay, so not moving any stop loss at entry because we want to take the as much as in that move back above here. So it's gonna be 450 pip to 60 pip once successfully move back there. That's how trading is. So as we are progressing with this session, today is a very important day, Friday, reversal day, and we are taking a lot of reversal a trade here in that market. So as moving towards the NOI session, I would like to see you guys in just a matter of 3 hours. I'll be coming on live again for another live session where I will give an update to this trade, and stay connected. Also joining the Telegram, you can find link below this video for more updated education as well as analysis that I'm posting every day. And as we are progressing with that session, we would like to take some big move here. I'm holding on to the trade, and I will be holding on to the trade to the fullest. So not moving a stop loss, not taking partial profit, or not growing anywhere. So when I expect that the market to bounce off that level to this key resistance line. That being said, thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again very soon with another update, another live session. It's gonna be a big one coming up with the next. See you soon, and keep running. Don't add position, don't close position. We'll see you there again.